Hello everyone, welcome back. This is video number 25 in the series CK 2024, and in this video we'll be looking into service accounts. We'll be creating service account, we'll be doing a demo as well, and we'll see how it works. How do we do the authentication authorization with the help of service account, which is another important concept as far as Kubernetes is concerned, or as far as any cloud is concerned, because even though this service account concept is specific to Kubernetes, but we use similar sort of service account in clouds as well. So it is an important concept, a must have. And yes, there'll be a task for you in the GitHub repository of day 25 folder. So have a look at that, try to complete that, and let me know if you face any issues. But before that, let's have a look at the video. Let's have a look at the content and let's see how it works. Before that, there is a comment and like target. Try to complete that. It's going to be 150 likes and comments in the next 24 hours. So please support me with that, and let's have a look at the video. Now I'm going to show you this diagram one more time because I'm going to be making some more changes and I'll add the service account to it. I did not introduce service account before because it would have just created a confusion. So that is why I waited for the time when we are on that video. Now that we are, I'm going to discuss it. So over here, let me delete these things. So over here, we have did that till now. And over here, we see we attached a role or a cluster role with the help of bindings to a user or group. Now, what type of users do we have in Kubernetes? So that's another important concept. We have, let's say, a human user, such as myself or somebody else in my team. So that would be a human user who is trying to log into the customer or trying to get access to the cluster for the administrative purpose, or to, let's say, for the operational cause, to troubleshoot an issue, to fix an issue, and so on. So that would be a human user. And then we have another type of users, which are service account. So this service account is something that application uses. It is not something a human would use, like not on the daily basis. Mostly it is used by application, bots, and it's used to basically run and monitor something. So let's say, let me just add this in the diagram. So these type of users basically try to execute something on the cluster. Let's say you have a Jenkins server running for the CI/CD pipeline to automate all that stuff, right? So that Jenkins pipeline or that Jenkins job, it will be executed from the service account, right? Because this service account is a automation user or a bot user or a non-human user. So that Jenkins service account will use this service account. We have, let's say, another application, let's say Prometheus. So this application will also be monitored by something called as service account or Jenkins. So all the configuration, all the updates will be done from this user. We have, let's say, another monitoring application such as Datadog. Right. So all these kind of things, all the applications, all the third-party applications, or all the workloads, those should be running as part of your service account. Like no human user should be interacting with those directly. I'll tell you an example why. Let's say you have 100 members in your team. You are part of an operations team and there are 100 members. So if every single member is executing the Jenkins pipeline from their personal user, right, that is okay. Like if we're doing it manually, we can do that personally. But if the application, if the pipeline is getting triggered with a webhook, that means it is going through an automation. No user has manually done it, right? So why would any user would want to use their name as the pipeline run? They should not, right? Because it's not been run by them. It's run by automation. It's run by a bot. It's run by an event. It's run by certain schedule, right? So that is the reason why we use an automation account or a service account in that case, right? So that's the main difference between those type of users. And again, the rest is same because service account is also a type of user. Actually, you assign certain roles and the role bindings to the user like you have done previously for a human user. So this should be the same process. It just, you can use it more often. It is one of the secured way, and it has a few more use cases. So that is why service account is always preferred over a human user when we are interacting programmatically with the server or with the workload or anything. Like that is why it is one of the recommended way. All right, let's have a look at the service account creation and the other related terms along with it. So when you create a cluster, there will be a service account, a default service account that gets created in all the namespaces. So if you do k get sa, SA is short for service account. So you see we have one default service account and we did not specify any namespace. That is why it is showing for the default namespace. And if we do hyphen capital A, that means for all the namespaces. And if I do a grep with default, because there be other service accounts as well. But for now, I'm just looking at the default service account. So there are 5 namespaces and there are 5 service accounts, one for each of the namespace. In the previous version of Kubernetes, I guess prior to 1.24 or prior to 1.22, it creates the service account, even the default service account, with a default secret and a token. But there has been a recent change through which the secrets are no more gets created. So if I do a k describe on a service account, let's say on the default. Okay, let me clear the screen and run this again. You see there are no tokens, there are no secrets, there is nothing. It's just the name and the namespace. And if I do k get sa default hyphen o YAML, so this YAML will have API version, kind, metadata. Metadata will have name, namespace, and few other metadata, and that's all about it. It does not have a spec section because we don't have anything created yet, like token or secret and so on. Right, so this is our default service account. Let's see how we can create a service account, because this default service account is to be used with questions and there are restricted permissions to it. So let's create a new service account. Let's say we want to create it for a build server such as Jenkins. So let's give this a name, kubectl create service account, and then the name of service account. So let's call it build SA. Okay, and it will be created in the default namespace. So that's done. If I do k describe SA and name it build SA, okay, it has created and it does not have a token or a secret. So that's good till here. We have a service account created. Now if we go back, okay, we can also create a long-lived API token for a service account. So you can find this configure pod container. So there is a task to configure this one, configure service account for pods inside task, and then configure pods and containers, right? It will be there in the documentation and you can follow this one. So what it will do, it will create a API token that is long lived. It does not have an expiration date. So if I take this YAML, okay, and let's go back in the day 24 folder, I'm going to create sa dot or secret.yaml because it's a secret. And let's paste the content over here. Okay. And it's kind of secret v1, and then metadata name is, let's say, build robot secret. That's fine. But make sure you add this annotation. Okay. This annotation is creating the secret and attaching it to the service account. Right. And the service account was build SA. So this annotation is important. And then we have the type. The type is kubernetes.io/service account token. This secret is of type service account token. So I'm going to save it. And if I do kubectl apply -f to secret.yaml, the secret is created. K get secret. Okay, it says it has some data. That means it has created the token and so on. So let's do a describe on this secret. And the name is build robot secret. Okay, let's see what does it have. So it has a token. So this is the token data. It has a CA cert because it has been encrypted. And it has a namespace scoped, right? So those three things are part of this secret, and we can use that service account to do something. Now let's go back over here. Okay, it says your secret is created and it is similar to this, blah, blah, blah. And you can also add the image pull secret to a service account. So this is the task in the GitHub repository. I want you to complete that and let me know if you face any issues. But to just give you a gist of it, what you can do is, okay, so first you have to create an image pull secret. So yes, we have seen secrets, but we have not touched on image pull secret. So what exactly it is, when you create a Docker image, let's say over here, there is a pod YAML, right? It has a container and container has a name and an image. Earlier, we were pulling the image from a public Docker Hub registry. So that means you don't need any authentication to pull a publicly available image. But let's say there are some images in your private repository, because in a real world production server, or even when you're working for some company, you don't really pull the images from the public repository. You keep your images secure in your private repositories, in your private registries. So there is a Docker Enterprise Hub for that. We have Artifactory, we have JFrog Artifactory, we have every cloud has their own registry, such as ECR, ACR, and then Google Cloud has GCR. So you basically store your images in the private repository and then you pull from there. Now, because it is private, it is secure, that means you need some sort of authentication and authorization to pull the images. So that is where you use image pull secret. So image pull secret will have your token, which have certain access to pull the image, or it will have your credentials, which you can use to access the image. Now you cannot pass username or password over here because it's not secure. So that's why you create a secret and then you refer the secret in the container, right? And you call it image pull secret and then the name of your secret. Okay. And how would you create it? So there would be, okay, like this. So there's the command for that. Let's say you have to create a secret with the type Docker registry. So you do kubectl create secret, then Docker registry name of the secret, then the credential details like your Docker server, your Docker username, password, and so on. This will create a secret and it will store your credentials in the encrypted format as a secret. And then you can use that secret basically like this in your pod YAML image pull secret and then the name of the secret. Now it says it needs to be done for each pod that is using a private registry. And same way we can do that for the service account. So if you do click over here, add image pull secret to a service account, it says, yeah. So if you go down and here you have created a service account. So in service account, the metadata, and then there is this section image pull secret. You can specify their registry details and then your service account secret will be kept over there. All right, that was about it. Now let's go back to our demo. So try to complete the task. It will be really helpful and it will be one of the prerequisite in one of the projects that we'll be doing at nearly to the end of this series. So we'll be creating an end-to-end project, and for that, this image pull secret is really important. And from the exam perspective, from the Kubernetes perspective, this is really important. So try to do that. Try to complete the hands-on. Okay, so let's say we have our secret created with a token. So we can use this token in our client API calls, and you can do certain tasks with it with the permissions attached to it. Now you can do the same thing that we did while we were calling the certificate. So let me open my notes over here. I guess it was part of day 21 or 22. Let me see. Day 21, not this one. Day 22. Yeah. So over here, when we did kubectl get pods and we have passed server, client, certificates, and so on, instead of these, we can pass the service account details. But for that, service account need to have the access to it first, right? So let's go back and let's provide access to the service account. And if we currently, if we do k get pods -as, and we can specify service account over here. So service account is, what was the name of service account? Was pod reader? No, get essay. It was build essay. Sorry about that. So if we do build essay, okay, currently it says, oh no, user build essay cannot list pods and this. Yeah, so it says the build essay does not have permission. And if I do auth and can I get pods hyphen s as build essay, it says no, I cannot list pods using the service account. So we need to create a role and role binding for that. So for that, let's do kubectl create role hyphen verb. Oh, let's add the role name. Let's add build role. Okay. And then hyphen verb is equal to list, get, and watch. Then we have resources. So hyphen resource is equal to pod. Okay. The role is created. Now we create a role binding. kubectl create role binding. Role binding name is, let's call it RB, just keep it short. And then role name, so hyphen role is equal to build role. What was that? Yeah, build role. And hyphen user, this time it is a service account, so user equal to build essay, right? And hit enter. It says role binding is created. Now if we run the command again, can I get pods as build essay? It says yes, I can get it because I have already added role and role binding to it. Now if I do kubectl get pods as build essay, I'm getting the reply back because now I have provided the permission, but this is now non-human account. This is not a human user. It is an automation user or a bot user, right? You can call it whatever you want. So that's why we have a specific name to it, which is a service account. Now, if we can go back, now you can make the REST API calls like we did with the curl. You can make that by passing the service account token with it. Yeah, so I believe that was it about the service accounts. Let me see if I forgot something. Okay, let me show you one thing. So let's say these were the deployments. This was the pod that was created with the default service account. So if I do kubectl describe pod on this one, okay, you will see certain details. So let's go up and go to the section where it says service account. Where it is, oh, over here. Okay, it says default service account. Okay, now if you go to the storage section, mount, it says where run secrets kubernetes.io service account. Okay, so that's the location where the token will be residing inside the container, inside the pod, where run secrets kubernetes.io service account. All the service account details will be stored over there, but it's not actually stored. It is mounted on the pod. So we are not injecting the details inside the pod. We are mounting it on the pod as a separate volume so that it can be securely accessed. So this is the one of the best practice to mount the secret. Now, if you go over here, let me see if we have anything else related to service account. No, that's all about it. So if I do get pods, okay, and I'll just copy the name of the pod. And if I do kubectl exec -it hyphen instead of running the bash command, or let's go inside the container. Okay, and the directory was where run secrets kubernetes.io and then service account. Now I'm inside this folder and it has three values. One is a token, and then we have a namespace name, and then we have CAcert. So these three files are mounted inside the as a directory, as a volume, and the pod storage, right? So the details can be found over here. And if I do a cat token from here, so this is a default service account token, right? That was created after the pod. So yeah, that's about it. So if you have to check the account token details from the service account or anything else, this is the way you can do that. This is the way you can find it out. Now, if I do a get essay, yep, I have to do the exit first. Okay, and if we do get essay, so if you want to delete it, so just delete essay, and then the name of the essay is build essay, and your service account will be deleted. That's all about it. So yeah, that was about service accounts. All right, thank you so much for watching the video. I'm sure it was helpful and valuable. So let me know in the comment section if you found it helpful or not. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to me from the comments or from the Discord server community, and we'll be helping you out. Try to complete the comments and like target, and don't forget to share this with your friends, family, colleagues, whoever can take the advantage of this learning opportunity. So I will see you soon with the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Wish you have a good day.